As an examiner with many years of experience listening to Bob's performance across all three parts of the test, I would describe his speaking as consistently strong and very close to native speaker level. Overall, his delivery shows a high level of comfort with the language, and at no point does he sound like he is struggling to express his ideas. From the very beginning, even in simple exchanges such as, "I'm from a city called Brighton, it's on the south coast of England, right by the sea," Bob sounds relaxed and natural, which is exactly what examiners listen for in terms of fluency and coherence. He speaks smoothly with natural pauses like and actually, but these pauses are clearly thinking pauses rather than signs of linguistic difficulty. For example, when he says, I'd say it's more of a medium-sized city, the hesitation feels completely natural and helps his answer sound authentic rather than rehearsed. Throughout the test, his ideas are logically linked, often using simple but effective connectors such as but, that said, on the downside, and beyond that, which guide the listener clearly from one point to the next without sounding forced. In terms of fluency and coherence, Bob performs at a very high level. He is able to extend his answers appropriately in Part 1, which many candidates struggle with. Instead of giving short, basic responses, he adds development, as in, "I've lived there for most of my life, actually, about 28 years now. I did move away briefly for university, but apart from that, I've always gone back." This shows an excellent sense of how much detail is needed. In Part 2, he maintains a steady flow for the full long turn, which is a strong indicator of a high band score. His description of the snow leopard is coherent from start to finish, moving naturally from when he first saw it to where he saw it, and finally to why it interests him, without sounding like he is mechanically following the task card. In Part 3, he handles abstract questions confidently, structuring his answers clearly, for instance, by introducing a general idea and then explaining it, as in, first of all, wild animals are an essential part of the natural world, and I think another important point is that many animals are endangered because of human activities. Looking at his lexical resource, Bob demonstrates a wide and flexible range of vocabulary that is both precise and appropriate. He avoids very basic words when better options are available, but he also does not overuse rare or unnatural vocabulary. Phrases like medium-sized city, a very relaxed and open atmosphere, quite noticeably, and extremely rare and endangered are all very natural and well chosen. In Part 2, he uses descriptive language effectively, saying the snow leopard was almost invisible in the snowy landscape and that it moved very quietly and calmly and seemed quite mysterious. These expressions show strong control of descriptive vocabulary without sounding exaggerated. In Part 3, he uses more abstract and academic-style language, such as maintaining ecosystems balanced, taking responsibility for our actions, develop respect and empathy, and future medical discoveries. This ability to adjust vocabulary to the task is a key feature of higher band candidates. Importantly, he paraphrases ideas well instead of repeating the same words, for example, using environment, natural world, and ecosystems to refer to related concepts. In terms of grammatical range and accuracy, Bob uses a wide variety of sentence structures with a very high level of accuracy. He frequently uses complex sentences, such as, "If I had to choose, I'd probably say protecting the environment comes first, just because a healthy environment naturally supports wildlife," and "because they live in very remote areas, scientists still don't know everything about their behavior." These sentences are well controlled and easy to follow. He also uses conditionals, relative clauses, and linking clauses naturally, without hesitation. Errors are extremely rare, and none of them interfere with meaning. His grammar sounds automatic, which is exactly what examiners expect at Band 8 or 9. Even when his sentences are long, as in the Part 2 response, they remain clear and well-structured, which is something many candidates at lower levels struggle to achieve. Pronunciation is another clear strength in Bob's performance. His speech is clear and easy to understand throughout the test, with natural stress and intonation patterns. He emphasizes key words appropriately, for example in phrases like extremely rare and endangered and gone forever, which adds meaning and emotional weight to his answers. His rhythm is natural, and his use of pausing helps clarity rather than harming it. There is no sign that the examiner would need to concentrate to understand him, which is a strong indicator of a top band score. Even when he speaks at length, his pronunciation remains consistent and his intonation rises and falls naturally, especially when expressing opinions or contrasting ideas, such as, "But in reality, they really need to be protected together." For other test takers listening to this performance, there are several important lessons to take away. One key point is that fluency does not mean speaking without any pauses. Natural hesitation like well, or is perfectly acceptable when used naturally, as Bob does. Another important lesson is the balance between simplicity and sophistication in vocabulary. Bob does not try to impress the examiner with very advanced or unusual words, but instead focuses on using the right words in the right context, which makes his answers sound natural and confident. Candidates should also notice how he extends answers logically, especially in Part 3, by giving reasons and explanations rather than short opinions. Finally, Bob's performance shows that high scores come from genuine communication. His answers sound like real thoughts, not memorized scripts, and this is one of the strongest signals examiners look for when awarding Band 8 to 9.